History. History was just made by LeBron James in a game against the Oklahoma City Thunder, breaking the biggest record in basketball history in total career regular season points, making LeBron the NBA's all-time leading scorer, a record that has remained unbroken for the past 38 years until now. But before we ponder on how LeBron was able to break the record, we must first go back to the very beginning. LeBron Raymond James Sr. was born on December 30, 1984 in Akron, Ohio at Akron General Medical Center to mother Gloria Marie James, who was 16 at the time, but sadly, his father Anthony McLeland has an extensive criminal record and was not involved in LeBron's childhood life. And when LeBron was growing up, life was very hard for his family as they moved from place to place in the Cedar neighborhoods of Akron while Gloria struggled to find steady work. And Gloria would realize that her son would be better off in a more stable family environment. Gloria allowed him to move in with the family of Frank Walker, a local U football coach who introduced LeBron to basketball when he was just 9 years old. LeBron first began playing organized basketball in the 5th grade, and LeBron would later play AAU basketball for the Northeast Ohio Shooting Stars, and the team enjoyed success on a local and national level, led by LeBron and his friends, Sian Cotton, Drew Joyce III, and Willie McGee, and the group dubbed themselves the Fab Four and promised to each other that they would attend the same high school together, and in a move that actually stirred local controversy, they chose to attend St. Vincent St. Mary High School, a private Catholic school with predominantly white students. And LeBron was 6'2" as a freshman, as LeBron would average 21 points and 6 rebounds per game for St. Vincent St. Mary varsity basketball team. And the St. Vincent St. Mary varsity team would actually go 27-0 en route to the Division III state title, making them the only boys high school team in Ohio to finish the season undefeated. And as a sophomore, LeBron would average 25.2 points and 7.2 rebounds, along with 5.8 assists and 3.8 steals per game. For some home games during the season, St. Vincent St. Mary played at the University of Akron's 5,492-seat Rhodes Arena to satisfy ticket demand from alumni, fans, and as well as college and NBA scouts who wanted to see LeBron play. And the Fighting Irish ended up finishing the season with a record of 26-1 and repeated as state champions. And for his outstanding play, LeBron was named Ohio Mr. Basketball and selected to the USA Today All-USA First Team, becoming the first sophomore to do either. During the summer of 2001, before his junior season in high school, LeBron was a subject of a featured article in Slam magazine in which writer Ryan Jones lauded the 16-year-old LeBron James had grown to 6'7" and possibly the best high school basketball player in America right now. And during the season, LeBron also appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated, becoming the first high school basketball player underclassman to do so, with averages of 29 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 5.7 assists and 3.3 steals per game, as he was again named Ohio Mr. Basketball and selected to the USA Today All-USA First Team, and became the first junior to be named Male Basketball Gatorade National Player of the Year. St. Vincent St. Mary finished the year with a record of 23-4, ending their season with a loss in the Division II championship game. And following the loss, LeBron unsuccessfully petitioned for a change to the NBA's draft eligibility rules in an attempt to enter the 2002 NBA draft. And throughout his senior year, LeBron and the Fighting Irish traveled around the country to play a number of nationally ranked teams, including a game on December 12, 2002 against the famous and legendary Oak Hill Academy that was nationally televised on ESPN2. Time Warner Cable at the time was looking to capitalize on LeBron's popularity and offered St. Vincent St. Mary's games to its subscribers on a pay-per-view basis throughout the season. And for the year, LeBron would average 31.6 points, 9 9.6 rebounds and 4.6 assists per game, along with 3.4 steals, and was named Ohio Mr. Basketball and selected to the USA Today All-USA First Team for an unprecedented third consecutive year, and was named Gatorade National Player of the Year for the second consecutive year. LeBron participated in 3 year-end high school basketball all-star games, the EA Sports Roundball Classic, the Jordan Capital Classic, and the McDonald's All-American Game. And sadly, he would lose his NCAA college eligibility in the process, and making it official that he would enter the 2003 NBA Draft. And unfortunately, also during his senior year of high school, LeBron was the centerpiece of several controversies because on his 18th birthday, LeBron skirted state amateur bylaws by accepting a Hummer H2 as a gift from his mother, who had secured a loan for the vehicle by utilizing his future earning power as an NBA superstar. This prompted an investigation by the Ohio High School Athletic Association, in short OHSAA, because its guidelines specifically stated that no amateur may accept any gift valued over $100 as a reward for his athletic performance. And LeBron was cleared of any wrongdoing because he had accepted the luxury vehicle from a family member and not from an agent or any outside source. And later in the season, LeBron actually accepted 2 throwback jerseys that were actually worth $845 from an urban clothing store in exchange for posing for pictures. And sadly, this would actually make him officially violate the OHSAA rules and resulting him of being stripped of his high school sports eligibility. But LeBron appealed the ruling, and his penalty was eventually dropped to a 2-game suspension and allowing him to play for the remainder of the season. And the Irish were also forced to forfeit one of their wins and their only official loss that season. And in his first game back after the suspension, LeBron scored a career high of 52 points, and St. Vincent St. Mary went on to win the Division II championship, marking their 3rd division title in just 4 years. LeBron was selected by his hometown team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, as the first overall pick in the 2003 NBA Draft, as his teammates Carlos Boozer and Darius Miles actually criticized his arrival to the team before their game against the Sacramento Kings. Take a look.
Better players than him in his position already on our team, though. His potential is probably, the sky's the limit for him, though.
I don't think you can really just bring a high school player in and really just think your team gonna really turn around like that. If he come, you know what I'm saying, he can just hop on our bandwagon and hopefully we can do something big.
In his very first regular season game, LeBron scored 25 points against the Sacramento Kings, setting an NBA record for most points scored by a prep-to-pro player in his debut performance. And at the conclusion of the 2003-04 season, he became the first Cavalier to actually receive the NBA Rookie of the Year award with final averages of 20.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. And he also became the 3rd player in league history to average at least 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game as a rookie. And Cleveland ultimately actually finished the season with a horrible record of 35-47, failing to make the playoffs despite an 18-game improvement over the previous year. In the 2004-05 season, LeBron would actually earn his first ever NBA All-Star Game appearance, as he would contribute with 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists in a winning effort for the Eastern Conference. Around the league, the teams actually took note of his rapid development, and the Denver Nuggets head coach at the time, George Karl, actually told this to Sports Illustrated, saying, "It's weird talking about a 20-year-old kid being a great player, but he is a great player. He's the exception to almost every rule." And on March 20, LeBron would score 56 points against the Toronto Raptors, setting Cleveland's new single-game points record, with sophomore NBA averages of 27.2 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 7.2 assists per game, along with 2.2 steals. And he was actually named to the first All-NBA team, and despite a record of 30-20 to start the year, the Cavaliers again failed to make the playoffs, finishing the season with a record of 42-40. And in his third season, the 2006 All-Star Game, LeBron actually led the East to victory with 29 points, and he was also named the NBA All-Star Game MVP. And behind final season averages of 31.4 points, 7 rebounds, and 6.6 assists per game. And he also finished second in overall NBA Most Valuable Player Award voting to Steve Nash. Under LeBron's leadership, the Cavaliers qualified for the playoffs first time since 1998, and in his postseason debut, LeBron recorded a triple-double and a winning effort against the Washington Wizards, and in Game 3 of the series, he made his very first game-winning shot in his career, making another one in Game 5. But even though Cleveland would go on to defeat the Wizards in the first round, they were still eliminated by the Detroit Pistons in the second round. And in 2006-07 season, LeBron's averages declined to 27.3 points, 6.7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1.6 steals per game. And some analysts actually attributed the fall to a regression in his passing skills and shot selection, which kind of stemmed from the lack of effort and focus. And honestly, I don't really believe that. And the Cavaliers actually finished the season with 50 wins for the second consecutive year and entered the playoffs as the East's second seed. And in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals, LeBron notched with 48 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists, scoring 29 of Cleveland's last 30 points, including a game-winning layup with just 2 seconds left in a double overtime game against the Pistons. And after the game, the play-by-play announcer Marv Albert actually called the performance one of the greatest moments in postseason history. And color commentator at the time, Steve Kerr, would describe it as Jordan-esque. In 2012, ESPN actually ranked that specific performance as the 4th greatest in modern NBA playoff history, as the Cavaliers ended up winning Game 6 and claiming their first ever Eastern Conference championship, earning them a matchup against the well-disciplined San Antonio Spurs in the finals. And during LeBron's first ever final series, he struggled, averaging just 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 6.8 assists per game, shooting a terrible 35.6% from the field, and sadly, Cleveland ended up losing in a sweep. In February of the 2007-8 season, LeBron was named the All-Star Game MVP for the second time, behind a 27.8 rebound and 9 assist performance. And on March 21, he actually moved past Brad Daugherty as the Cavaliers' all-time leading scorer in a game against the Raptors, doing so in 100 less games than Brad. LeBron's 30 points per game was also the highest in the league, therefore marking his first ever scoring title. And despite his individual accomplishments, Cleveland's record fell from the year before to the record of 45 and 37th, becoming the 4th seed in the East, entering the playoffs. And the Cavaliers actually defeated the Wizards in the first round for the 3rd consecutive season before being eliminated in 7 games by the eventual champion Boston Celtics in the next round. And during that decisive Game 7 in Boston, LeBron and Paul Pierce would duel, as LeBron scored 45 points and Paul Pierce would score 41 in a game that the Associated Press would actually describe as a shootout. LeBron and Deshaun Stevenson apparently had a short feud in April of 2008 after Stevenson called LeBron overrated, and at the conclusion of the 08-09 season, LeBron finished the league's second in the NBA for NBA Defensive Player of the Year award voting and made his first ever NBA All-Defensive team, posting 23 chase down blocks and a career high of a total of 93 total blocks. And he also became the only 4th post-merger player to lead his team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks in a single season. And behind his play and the brand new acquisition of Mo Williams, Cleveland actually set a franchise record of 66 and 16 and fell just 1 game short of matching the best home record in league history, with LeBron's final averages of 28.4 points, 7.6 rebounds, 7.2 assists, 1.7 steals, and 1.2 blocks per game. and LeBron actually became the first ever Cavalier to win the MVP award. And reflecting on LeBron's performance on ESPN, John Hollinger later wrote, "He's having what is arguably the greatest individual season in history, and it's time we gave him his due for it." In the playoffs, Cleveland swept the Pistons and the Atlanta Hawks to earn a matchup with the Orlando Magic in the conference finals. And in Game 1 of the series, LeBron scored 49 points on 66% shooting in a losing effort for the Cavaliers. And in Game 2, he hit the game winner to tie the series at 1 apiece. But sadly, Cleveland would still lose the series in 6 games. Following the loss in Game 6, LeBron immediately left the floor without shaking hands with his opponents, which was an act that many media members viewed as unsportsmanlike. For the series, LeBron would average 38.5 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 8 assists per game, finishing the postseason with a career playoff high of 35.3 points per game. And in February of 2009 to 2010 season, LeBron was forced into a temporary point guard role following a series of injuries to players in the Cavaliers' backcourt. And behind his leadership, Cleveland lost absolutely no momentum, finishing the year with the best record in the league for the second consecutive season, due in part to his increased minutes as the Cavaliers' primary ball handler, as LeBron increased his stats to averaging 29.7 points, 7.3 rebounds, 8.6 assists, 1.6 steals, and 1 block per game on 50% shooting en route to another MVP award. To open the playoffs, Cleveland advanced past the Bulls to earn a matchup with the Celtics in the second round, and LeBron was heavily criticized for not playing well in Game 5 of the series, shooting only 20% on 14 shots and scoring just 15 points, and the team suffered its worst loss in franchise history. And at the conclusion of the game, LeBron walked off the court to a smattering boos from Cleveland's home crowd, and the Cavaliers were officially eliminated from the postseason in Game 6, with LeBron posting only 27 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists, and 9 turnovers in a losing effort. As LeBron left the court, a big change was about to happen that will change the NBA forever, as LeBron became an unrestricted free agent at exactly 12:01 a.m. EDT on July 1, 2010. And during this time, he was contacted by several teams, including the Chicago Bulls, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Miami Heat, the New York Knicks, the New Jersey Nets, and of course, the Cleveland Cavaliers. But on July 8, he announced on a live ESPN special titled The Decision that he would sign with the Miami Heat, and the telecast was a broadcast from the Boys and Girls Club of Greenwich, Connecticut, and raised a total of $2.5 million for the charity, and an additional $3.5 million was raised from advertising revenue alone, which was donated to other charities. And the day before the special, fellow free agents like Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade also announced that they would sign with Miami. And there were reports later back in 2006 that the trio had discussed amongst themselves about their upcoming 2010 free agencies. And LeBron decided to join up with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade in part so that he can shoulder less of the offensive load, and he thought that his improved teammates would give him a better chance of winning an NBA title rather than staying in Cleveland. Heat president Pat Riley played a major role in selling LeBron on the idea of playing with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, and LeBron would be relieved of the burden of scoring, and he thought that he could be the first player since Oscar Robertson to actually average a triple-double in a season. And upon leaving the Cavaliers, LeBron drew intense criticism from sports analysts, executives, fans, and current and former NBA players, and the decision itself was also scrutinized and viewed as unnecessary, and many thought that the prolonged wait for LeBron's choice was unprofessional, as not even the teams courting him were aware of his decision until moments before the show. And upon learning that LeBron would not be returning to Cleveland, Cavaliers owner at the time, Dan Gilbert, published an open letter to fans in which he aggressively denounced LeBron's actions. and some angry fans of the team even recorded videos of themselves burning his jersey, and former NBA players including Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson were also critical of LeBron and condemning him for joining in with Bosh and Wade in Miami and was not trying to win a championship as quote-unquote the man. LeBron drew further criticism in a September interview with CNN, which he claimed that the Rays might have been a factor in the fallout from the decision, and as a result of his actions during the 2010 free agency period, he quickly gained a reputation as one of America's most disliked athletes, which was a radical change from prior years. And the very phrase "I will be taking my talents to South Beach" became a punchline for critics, and in retrospect, LeBron has expressed some regret over handling of the decision. LeBron officially signed with the Heat on July 10, 2010 through a sign-and-trade deal which sent 2 second and 2 first-round draft picks to the Cavaliers and gave them the option to swap the first-round picks with the Heat in 2012. And as a part of the first player-created NBA super team, LeBron became the only third reigning MVP to actually change teams and the first since Moses Malone in 1982. That evening, the Heat threw a welcome party for their new quote-unquote Big Three at the American Airlines Arena, an event that actually took on a rock concert atmosphere. And during the gathering, LeBron predicted a dynasty for the Heat and alluded to multiple championships. And outside Miami, the spectacle was not well received, furthering the negative public perception of LeBron. And throughout the 2010 to 2011 season, the media and the opposing fan bases treated LeBron and the Heat as the supervillains of the NBA. And to begin the year, they struggled to adjust to these new circumstances, going only 9 out of 8 of their games after their first 17 games. And LeBron later admitted that the constant negativity surrounding the team made him play an angrier demeanor than the years in the past. On December 2, LeBron faced the Cavaliers in Cleveland for the first time since departing as a free agent, and he ended up scoring 38 points and led Miami to a win while being booed every single time he touched the basketball. And the Heat eventually turned their season around and finished as the East's second seed, with LeBron averaging 26.7 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 7 assists per game, shooting 51% from the field. And in the conference semifinals, LeBron and his teammates found themselves matched up with the Celtics for the second consecutive year. And in Game 5, LeBron scored Miami's last 10 points to help seal a series-clinching win. After the final buzzer, LeBron famously knelt on the court in an emotional moment, later telling reporters that it was an extremely personal victory for him and the team. No, bro, I think it's really just a personal victory for you, Mr. Bronny Bron, because it basically eliminated the Celtics curse against you, not the Heat, alright? That's kinda cap. Anyways, the Heat eventually advanced to the finals, where they were defeated by Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks in just 6 games. And LeBron actually received the brunt of the criticism for the loss, averaging only 3 points in 4 quarters in the series, and his final scoring average of 17.8 points signified a 8.9 point drop-off from the regular season, the largest point drop-off in league history. The 2011 to 2012 season was delayed by a lockout, and during that extended summer, LeBron actually worked with Hakeem Olajuwon in order to improve his post-up game. And he was humbled by the Heat's loss to the Mavericks in the finals, and that experience actually inspired LeBron to leave behind the villain role that he had been embracing, which actually helped him regain a sense of joy on the court. And behind his expanded skill set, Miami began the year with a franchise best start of 18-6. LeBron was eventually named MVP for the 3rd time, finishing with averages of 27.1 points, 7.9 rebounds, 6.2 assists, and 1.9 steals per game, shooting 53% from the field. And LeBron became the youngest player in NBA history to score 20,000 career points on January 16, 2013. In the second round of the playoffs, Miami temporarily lost Bosh due to an abdominal injury and found themselves trailing the Pacers 2-1. And LeBron responded with a 40-point, 18 rebound, and 9 assist performance in Game 4 to help even the series. And to compensate for Bosh's absence, the Heat embraced a small ball lineup with LeBron at power forward, which they retained even after Bosh's return in the conference finals against the Boston Celtics. Facing elimination in Game 6, LeBron recorded an amazing 45 points and 15 rebounds to actually lead the Heat to victory in what the New York Times called a career-defining performance, and Miami won Game 7 to advance to the finals, earning them a matchup with the Oklahoma City Thunder and Kevin Durant. Late in Game 4 of the series, LeBron hit a three-pointer to actually give the Heat a lead, helping them win the game despite missing time with leg cramps. In Game 5, LeBron registered a triple-double as Miami defeated Oklahoma City for their second ever championship and LeBron's first ever championship. LeBron was unanimously voted the Bill Russell NBA Finals Most Valuable Player with averages of 28.6 points, 10.2 rebounds, and 7.4 assists per game, and his full postseason run in which he averaged 30.3 points, 9.7 rebounds, and 5.6 assists per game, and was later ranked as the second best in modern NBA history by ESPN. In February of the 2012-2013 season, LeBron averaged 29.7 points, 7.8 rebounds, while setting multiple shooting efficiency records. And that same month, the Heat also began a 27-game winning streak, which is the third largest in NBA history, and based on these accomplishments, LeBron's performance was described as the month of the ages by the Sports Illustrated, and Miami eventually finished the year with a franchise and league best 66-16 record, and LeBron was named MVP for his fourth time, falling just one vote shy of becoming the first player in NBA history to win the award unanimously. And his final season averages were 26.8 points, 8 rebounds, 7.3 assists, and 1.7 steals a game, while shooting 56.5% from the field. In Game 1 of the conference finals, LeBron scored a buzzer-beating layup to give Miami a 1-point victory against the Pacers, and throughout the series, his supporting cast kinda struggled significantly, and his added scoring load prompted him to compare his responsibilities to those of his Cleveland days. And despite these struggles, the Heat actually advanced to the finals for a meeting with the Spurs, signifying a rematch for LeBron from his first finals 6 years earlier. And at the beginning of the series, he was criticized for his lack of aggressiveness and poor shot selection as Miami fell behind 2-3. But in Game 6, he recorded his second triple-double in the series, including 16 fourth-quarter points as Chris Bosh and Ray Allen's clutch three-pointer would lead Miami over the Spurs to lead the Heat in a comeback victory that tied the series and saved them from elimination. And in Game 7, he tied the finals record for most points scored in a Game 7 victory as LeBron would finish the game with 37 points. As LeBron was also named Finals MVP for the second straight season, averaging 25.3 points, 10.9 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2.3 steals per game in the NBA Finals. On March 3 of the 2013-14 season, LeBron scored a career high and a franchise record of 61 points in a game against the Charlotte Bobcats. And throughout the year, LeBron was one of the few staples for a Heat roster that used 20 different starting lineups due to injuries, and LeBron would finish the season with averages of 27.1 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 6.4 assists per game, shooting 56.7% from the field. In the second round of the playoffs, LeBron tied a career postseason high by scoring 49 points in Game 4 against the Brooklyn Nets. And in the next round, Miami defeated the Pacers to earn their fourth consecutive finals berth, becoming one of the only 4 teams in NBA history to do so. In Game 1 of the finals, LeBron missed most of the fourth quarter, unfortunately because of leg cramps, therefore helping the Spurs take an early series lead. Then in Game 2, LeBron led the Heat to victory in a series-tying performance of 35 points, including shooting 64% from the field. And the Spurs stayed disciplined as they would eventually eliminate the Heat in just 5 games, therefore ending Miami's quest for a three-peat. For the finals, LeBron averaged 28.2 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 2 steals per game. On June 25, 2014, LeBron officially opted out of his contract with the Miami Heat. Then on July 1, he officially became an unrestricted free agent once again. Then, on July 11, Mr. LeBron here revealed via a first-person essay in Sports Illustrated that he intended to return to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and in contrast to the decision, his announcement to return to Cleveland was very well received. Then, on July 12, LeBron officially signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers, who had compiled a league worst record of 97 and 215 in the past 4 seasons following his departure. A month after LeBron's signing, the Cavaliers acquired Kevin Love from the Minnesota Timberwolves and forming a brand new superstar trio along with Kyrie Irving. Later that season, LeBron reached several passing milestones, including becoming the Cavaliers' all-time assist leader, and in January of the 2014-15 season, LeBron missed 2 weeks due to a left knee and lower back strains, which was, at the time, represented the longest stretch of missed games in his career, and in total, LeBron played a career low of 69 games with his final averages of 25.3 points, 6 rebounds, and 7.4 assists per game. And in the second round of the playoffs, LeBron hit a baseline jumper at the buzzer to give Cleveland an even 2-2 series tie with the Chicago Bulls. And in the conference finals, the Cavaliers defeated the Hawks to advance to the finals, making LeBron the first player since the 1960s to play in 5 consecutive NBA finals. For most of the finals against the Golden State Warriors, unfortunately, Kyrie and Kevin were sidelined due to injury, giving LeBron even more offensive responsibilities, and behind his leadership, the Cavaliers opened the series with a 2-1 lead before being eliminated in just 6 games. Despite the loss, LeBron received serious consideration for the Finals MVP award, averaging 35.8 points, 13.3 rebounds, and 8.8 assists per game for the finals. And during the 2015-16 season, LeBron was widely criticized for his role in several off-court controversies, including the mid-season firing of Cavaliers head coach David Blatt. And despite these distractions, Cleveland finished the year with 57 wins, the best record in the Eastern Conference, with LeBron's averages of 25.3 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 6.8 assists per game on 52% shooting from the field. In the playoffs, the Cavaliers advanced comfortably to the finals, losing just 2 games en route to a rematch with the Golden State Warriors, who were coming off a record-setting season of a 73-win season. And to begin the series, Cleveland fell behind 3-1, including 2 blowout losses, and LeBron responding by registering back-to-back 41-point games in both games 5 and 6, and leading the Cavaliers to 2 consecutive wins to stave off elimination. And in Game 7, LeBron posted a triple-double and made a key number of plays, including a chase-down block on Andre Iguodala's go-ahead layup attempt, as Cleveland emerged victorious, winning the city's first ever professional sports title in 52 years, and becoming the first team in NBA history to come back from a 3-1 series deficit in the finals. LeBron became just the 3rd player to record a triple-double in NBA Finals Game 7 history, and behind series averages of 29.7 points, 11.3 rebounds, 8.9 assists, 2.3 blocks, and 2.6 steals per game, and he also became the first player in league history to lead both teams in all 5 statistical categories for a playoff round, culminating in a unanimous Finals MVP selection. The 2016-17 season was marred by injuries and unexpected losses for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and LeBron later described it as one of the strangest years of his career. Following a January defeat to the New Orleans Pelicans, he publicly criticized Cleveland's front office for constructing a team that he felt was too top-heavy, for which he received counter-criticism. The Cavaliers finished the season as the East's 2nd seed, with LeBron averaging 26.4 points and career highs in rebounds with 8.6 per game and assists with 8.7 per game. And in Game 3 of the first round of the playoffs, he registered 41 points, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists against the Indiana Pacers, leading Cleveland to a comeback victory after trailing by 25 points at halftime, representing the largest halftime deficit overcome in NBA playoff history. In Game 5 of the conference finals against the Boston Celtics, LeBron scored 35 points and surpassed Michael Jordan as the league's all-time postseason scoring leader, and the Cavaliers won the game and the series, advancing to the finals for the third consecutive time, yet again against the Golden State Warriors, who had signed Kevin Durant during the offseason. Behind averages of 33.6 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists per game, LeBron became the first player to average a triple-double in the finals, but Cleveland was defeated in just 5 games. Prior to the start of the 2017-18 season, the Cavaliers sort of overhauled their roster by first trading Kyrie Irving to the Boston Celtics, who requested a trade in part because he no longer wanted to play with LeBron. After a slow start to the year, Cleveland rebounded by winning 18 of 19 games in December, and their turnaround began with a victory over the Washington Wizards on November 3, where LeBron scored 57 points, which represented the second highest point total of his career and tied a franchise record. In January, the Cavaliers had a losing record, as LeBron was criticized for his lackluster effort, and the very next month, LeBron won his third ever All-Star Game MVP award after posting 29 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, and several key plays to help Team LeBron win over Team Curry. And following another round of trades in February, Cleveland returned to form and LeBron reached a number of historical milestones because on March 30, he set a NBA record with 867 straight games, scoring in double digits, and LeBron eventually finished the season with averages of 27.5 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 9.2 assists per game. In the playoffs, LeBron had one of the best individual playoff runs in NBA history, as LeBron carried the Cavaliers to yet another finals rematch with the Golden State Warriors, and along the way, he had some of the most memorable moments of his career, including a game-winning shot against the Indiana Pacers and another against the Toronto Raptors, hence LeBronto. Anyways, in the first game of the finals, LeBron actually scored a career high of 51 points, and Cleveland was gonna win the game until J.R. Smith had the blooper of the century, and then Cleveland was defeated in overtime. Following the defeat, LeBron injured his hand after punching a wall in the locker room, which hindered his effectiveness for the remainder of the series, and the Cavaliers lost the series in a complete sweep in 4 games, as LeBron carried the Cavs with averages of 34 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 10 assists per game for the 2018 NBA Finals. On June 29, 2018, LeBron opted out of his contract with the Cleveland Cavaliers once again and became an unrestricted free agent. And on July 1, his management sports company, Clutch Sports, announced that he would sign with the Los Angeles Lakers, and the deal was officially completed on July 9. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, LeBron's agent Rich Paul explained, "In 2010, when he went to Miami, it was about championships. In 2014, when he went back to Cleveland, it was about delivering on a promise. In 2018, it was about doing what he wants to do." Reaction to the move was more positive than his original departure from the Cavaliers. The Lakers expected LeBron to immediately transform them into a championship contender after having missed the playoffs since 2014 and not appearing in the finals since 2010. And following his signing, the team rounded out their roster with a controversial collection of playmakers and veterans to begin the 2018-19 season, and they ended up struggling to find effective lineups and recorded only 2 wins through their first 7 games. In November, they began a turnaround, which included 2 of LeBron's strongest performances of the season, and on November 14, he registered 44 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists in a victory against the Portland Trail Blazers. Then, on November 18, LeBron scored a season high of 51 points against the Miami Heat. After blowing out the Warriors on Christmas Day, Los Angeles improved their record to 20-14, but LeBron unfortunately suffered a groin injury, the first major injury of his career. He then missed a career-high 17 consecutive games, and the Lakers fell out of the playoff contention without him, and the team was unable to recover and failed to qualify for the postseason, marking the first time that LeBron actually missed the playoffs since 2005. And in March, the Lakers announced that LeBron would begin a minutes restriction. and he was later officially ruled out for the remainder of the season, as LeBron's final averages were 27.4 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 8.3 assists per game, and despite his inconsistent campaign, LeBron was still named to the All-NBA third team, marking his first time in 12 years that he did not make the All-NBA first team. During the offseason, the Lakers hired Frank Vogel as their brand new head coach and traded the majority of their young core to the Pelicans for Anthony Davis, and LeBron immediately embraced LA's much improved roster by transforming his playstyle, moving to full-time point guard duties and competing with a more consistent defensive effort. And behind LeBron's leadership, the Lakers opened the 2019-20 season with a record of 17-2, matching the best start in franchise history. Then, on January 25, LeBron passed the late great Kobe Bryant for third on the all-time regular season scoring list, sadly the day before Kobe's passing. In early March, before the season was suspended due to the pandemic, LeBron led the Lakers to a victory over the Milwaukee Bucks in a matchup of conference leaders, and followed by a streak-breaking win against the Los Angeles Clippers. And regular season play resumed in July and concluded in August within the confinement of the NBA Disney bubble, where LeBron ended the regular season as the league leader in assists for the first time in his career, averaging 10.2 assists per game. And LeBron earned a record 16th All-NBA team selection as a part of the first team, extending his record first team selections to 13. The Lakers entered the playoffs as the number 1 seed in the West and advanced to the finals convincingly with only 3 total losses along the way. And in Game 5 of the conference finals against the Denver Nuggets, LeBron helped clinch the conference championship by scoring a game-high 38 points, including scoring 16 points in the fourth quarter alone. And in the finals, LeBron and his teammates found themselves matched up with his former team, the Miami Heat, and quickly took control of the series with a convincing 2-0 lead. In Game 5, LeBron had his best statistical performance of the finals with 40 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists in a memorable duel with Miami's Jimmy Butler, but LA was ultimately defeated in a 3-point game. The Lakers finally eliminated the Heat in Game 6, which earned LeBron, who averaged 29.8 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 8.5 assists per game during the series, his 4th NBA championship and 4th Finals MVP award. And at the age of 35 years and 287 days old, he became the second oldest player in league history to win the award, and the only player in NBA history to win the award with 3 different franchises. And LeBron and teammate Danny Green also became the 3rd and 4th players in NBA history to win at least 1 championship with 3 different teams each. The 2020-2021 season was reduced to 72 games for each team starting on December 22, 2020. Due to the pandemic, it began after the shortest offseason in NBA history with a loss to the Clippers. In a loss to the Nets on February 18, LeBron became the 3rd player in NBA history with 35,000 career points, joining the likes of Hall of Famers Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and the mailman Karl Malone at the age of 36 years and 50 days old, and he was the youngest player to reach the milestone. In May, LeBron was sidelined yet again after leaving a game against the Toronto Raptors, but he returned for the final 2 games and finished the season with averages of 25 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 7.8 assists on 51.3% shooting in 45 out of 72 games, and this was his 17th consecutive season averaging at least 25 points per game, the most in NBA history. In an injury-laden season, the Lakers ended with a terrible record of 42-30, finishing number 7 in the West due to tiebreakers and facing the Golden State Warriors since they were the 8th seed in the play-in tournament. And the Lakers luckily won by 3 after LeBron scored the go-ahead 3-point shot in crunch time, posting a triple-double with 22 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists along with 2 steals and a block, and his 34-foot shot before the buzzer was the longest basket of the season, as well as his longest go-ahead shot in the closing 3 minutes of a game in his career. And in the first round of the playoffs, the Lakers faced the number 2 seeded Phoenix Suns, and for the first time in LeBron's career, that he did not have a home court advantage in the opening series. The Lakers were up 2-1 before Anthony Davis suffered a strained groin in Game 4, which LeBron finished with a game-high 25 points on 10 of 21 shooting with 12 rebounds and 6 assists. Sadly, the Lakers lost to the Suns in just 6 games, making it the first time in LeBron's career to lose in the first round, and he finished the series with averages of 23.3 points, his 4th lowest scoring output for a series over his career, and his lowest mark since averaging 22.8 in the 2014 Eastern Conference Finals, and he made his 17th consecutive All-NBA team selection, extending the record for the most selections in NBA history, being named for the 3rd time to the All-NBA second team. For the 2021-22 season, LeBron was joined by Carmelo Anthony and Russell Westbrook, and LeBron would average 30.4 points, 8.9 rebounds, 6.3 assists, 1.6 steals, and 1.4 blocks per game on 54% shooting, also achieving his 100th triple-double, while also becoming the 3rd player in NBA history to surpass 36,000 career points. In December, LeBron became the 2nd player in NBA history after Michael Jordan to post 40 points and 0 turnovers at the age of 35 or older. And in January, LeBron became the oldest player in NBA history to record at least 25 points in 10 straight games, doing so at the age of 37. And by January 20, LeBron became the 5th player in NBA history to record at least 30,000 career points and 10,000 career rebounds, and he's the 1st player to record at least 30,000 career points, 10,000 career rebounds, and 9,000 career assists. And in the same period, he surpassed Oscar Robertson for 4th all-time in free throws made, and Alvin Robertson for 10th all-time in career steals. And in February, LeBron surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for most points scored in both regular season and playoffs. And by March, he surpassed Karl Malone for 2nd in all-time minutes and regular season scoring lists. At the 2022 NBA All-Star Game that was held in Cleveland, LeBron was actually celebrated among the other supposed 75th anniversary players for the NBA 75th anniversary team, and LeBron led all players and fan votes with his 18th All-Star selection, tying Kobe Bryant and just held 1 behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And his team achieved its 5th consecutive All-Star win, defeating Team Durant, with LeBron hitting the game-winning dagger shot in front of his hometown crowd. In March, LeBron recorded 2 50-point games, which were also his Lakers career high, becoming the oldest player to actually have multiple 50-point games in a season, as well as the first Lakers player since Kobe Bryant in 2008 to have back-to-back 50-point home games. And on March 27, LeBron became just the 2nd player in NBA history to score 37,000 total career points. On April 5, the Lakers were eliminated from both playoff and play-in contention for the first time since 2019, aka LeBron's first season with the Lakers after a loss to the Suns. It marked the 4th time in LeBron's career that he has missed the playoffs, and LeBron was ruled out for the rest of the season due to soreness in his left ankle, and he finished the season with averages of 30.3 points, 8.2 rebounds, 6.2 assists, 2.9 threes a game, 1.3 steals, and 1.1 blocks per game on 52, 35, 75 shooting ranges. And on March 24, he made his 18th consecutive All-NBA team selection, extending the record for most selections in NBA history, being named for the 2nd time to the All-NBA third team. On August 18, 2022, LeBron re-signed with the Los Angeles Lakers with a 2-year $97.1 million deal, and the contract extension made LeBron the highest paid athlete in NBA history with a total of $528.9 million total earnings, surpassing Kevin Durant in all-time earnings, which is just a lot. And considering LeBron is also a businessman, and this is just his NBA earnings alone. On December 2, in a victory against the Milwaukee Bucks, LeBron recorded 28 points and 11 assists, and he recorded his 10,142nd assist, therefore surpassing the Magic Man Magic Johnson for 6th place on the NBA all-time career assist list. Then, on December 13, LeBron scored 33 points in an overtime loss to the Boston Celtics, surpassing Wilt Chamberlain for the second most 30-point games in NBA history. And he recorded 516 30-point games in just 1,386 career appearances. In the very next game, on his 38th birthday, LeBron then had a season high of 47 points, shooting 18 of 27 from the field along with 10 rebounds, 9 assists to come from behind and grab the victory against the Atlanta Hawks. And recently, on January 2, 2023, LeBron recorded 43 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists in a win over the Charlotte Hornets. He joined Michael Jordan as the only players with back-to-back 40-point games at the age of 38 years of age or older. Wow. On January 13, in a loss against the Philadelphia 76ers, LeBron scored his 38,000th career point, becoming the second player in NBA history to do so. And on January 23, LeBron scored 46 points, including a career-high 9 3-pointers in a loss to the Los Angeles Clippers, becoming the first player in NBA history to score at least 40 points in a game against all NBA franchises. Then, on January 19, LeBron was named a starter at the 2023 NBA All-Star Game, tying Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record for most All-Star selections with 19. It was also LeBron's 19th consecutive All-Star appearance, surpassing Kobe Bryant's previous mark. Then, on January 31, LeBron would put up a triple-double with 28 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists in an overtime victory over the New York Knicks, and becoming the first player in NBA history to put up a triple-double in his 20th NBA season. LeBron also surpassed Mark Jackson and Steve Nash for 4th on the NBA's all-time career assist list, and recently, which is technically a while ago, on February 7, 2023, on this very day, LeBron has scored his 38,388th career point in a game against the Oklahoma City Thunder, breaking a 38-year-old record in the process and surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. Let's go! And if y'all are wondering about my live reaction, here you go.
Guys are 15 feet away from the goal.
Oh my god.
For the record!
Ah! He did it! He did it! Let's go! He did it! Yes! Yes! Oh my god, yes! Let's go! After looking back at LeBron's amazing career so far, y'all just gotta give this guy some appreciation and some props, because averaging above 20 points a game in the NBA for the past 20 years is just insane, and the amount of hard work and dedication it takes to be excellent for 2 entire decades is just mind-blowing. And no one ever in NBA history is playing at such a high level in their late 30s like LeBron, since most basketball careers end at the age of 34 only if your body can take it. And I don't think that we'll see a guy like LeBron James for a very long time, and LeBron's impact on the game of basketball and sports will be felt for a very long time. And I'd like to say this right now, that LeBron James is my favorite basketball player of all time. And I hope you all enjoyed today's video, because it took so long to make, and show me some love by hitting the like button and make it turn blue to show me that you have loved today's video about LeBron James. And make sure to hit the red subscribe button to join this amazing, growing basketball family as I create and make the best basketball content for you every single Friday, so hit the bell. God bless, stay safe, and I shall see you all face to face next week. Goodbye.